What's up, guys, and welcome back to the LittleScaleCars YouTube channel. Today in the review box, we have the all-new for 2024 Lamborghini Huracan Sterrato from Hot Wheels. Now, this particular car, just like the Porsche Dakar from the last video, has had a lot of releases from a lot of different brands. So let's see if the Hot Wheels version is worth adding to your collections. As always, let's get things started by looking at our casting. So taking a quick look at our proportions, everything is looking pretty good. Nothing really out of sorts there. We'll go ahead and pop the real life car up in the top right hand corner for comparison's sake. And one thing I want to make note of really quickly is that this one does seem to have pretty good scaling in relation to other Hot Wheels Huracans. They definitely seem to took that into account, unlike with the Dakar. Now, when we actually dissect our casting here, you'll see that almost everything is going to be metal, which is cool. So all this orange stuff is going to be metal. Our fender flares are metal on this particular release, unlike with the Porsche. Up top, these roof rack things are indeed metal and casted in, looking good. All the wing bits in the back, nice texturized here, looking good. Up front, the kind of additional headlight thingies, these are metal and casted in and looking pretty good. Making your way down the front here, this section here, this is going to be a piece of the base, which is plastic. Down the side, the skirt, which lifts all the way up to here on this little side intake thing, this is all plastic and a piece of the base. And then into the rear section here, all of this exhaust and everything, diffuser area, is all plastic and a piece of the base. The base itself has got some good detailing on it. But as far as casting-wise, we do have all your body lines, door handle, looking good. Up on the hood, again, body lines all looking perfectly fine, and overall the casting is pretty solid. For the paint and deco, so we've got this kind of classic Huracan Sterrato presentation look with the bright orange and the 63 right here with the orange and black stripes, which look really good. There's even the little extra headlights, got some tampo work on there to kind of incorporate that look. Overall, not too bad. However, I do think that these kind of wheel arch tampos are not maybe the best looking, but they're not terrible. For our details, so starting right up front, we do get headlights tampoed on. They look pretty good. And then we do have, like as I said, these little extra headlights are given some tampo treatment, but down here they do not get any tampo treatment. This is actually going to be super easy to remedy if it bothers you a lot. Like, it does actually bother me more than I thought it would. But some black, matte black paint, slather it on there with a toothpick. You'll be perfectly fine and ready to go. You do get the Lamborghini logo right there, which looks good. Making your way down the side here, we do get the Sterrato decal right there, which looks cool. And then we got these Trap 5 wheels, which they don't look bad, and they sort of match the real-life car's wheels. So, not my favorite choice, but they don't look terrible. Then onto the back section here, we have nothing to speak of. And I didn't think it bothered me much with the Porsche Dakar, but on this one, it really does kind of affect the overall look. So that's pretty disappointing. Moving on to the roof here, the roof scoop is plastic, so it does not get any kind of tampo work or anything like that. It is incorporated into this windshield piece. So again, not really much to speak of tampo-wise on the back here. I did mention that these were tampos earlier, and they do look good. However, I almost think that maybe they should have done what they did with the Dakar and kind of incorporated this into the interior, perhaps? Moving into the roll test, this is the Mainline. So obviously it's going to roll, and it's going to roll very smoothly. I went ahead and put this one on the scale, and it comes out to be 27.32 grams. So while still being a little heavier than the Porsche 911 Dakar, it is still a little bit under the average weight for a Mainline. Pros and cons, getting started with our pros. This is going to be the cheapest way to add a Huracan Sterrato into your collection. Like I said, there's a Mini GT, there is a Sparky, and we know that there is a Matchbox, I believe, moving parts, coming out soon, but this one will be the cheapest. The second pro is that the casting itself is pretty good. I don't have any major gripes with the engineering of the casting, except for maybe the wheel arches, but I don't know, they don't look so bad. They don't really bother me. For our cons, though, I would say the biggest con is the one that you, of course, know is going to be coming here, and it is the lack of rear tampos. Now, I always put this in the cons if it happens to be so. However, I usually mention that it usually doesn't bother me. On this particular release, though, I think that it would have looked better if we had gotten some. Again, if we could have done these wheel arches as a piece of the interior like we did with the 911 Dakar, that would have saved up the room for this to be tampoed, and I think that that was probably the better way of going about it. But it is what it is, and it still looks pretty good. For some quick size comparisons, here we have it with some other Huracans that you might own, with the Lamborghini Huracan from Hot Wheels, and the Lamborghini Huracan STO from Mini GT. And here we have it with a few other off-road themed cars, with the recently reviewed Porsche 911 Dakar from Hot Wheels, and the Ford Fiesta WRC from Majorette. Now it is time to find our overall score. So the hype level, I'm going to give it a 9.65 out of 10. I think the hype level was pretty similar for the Porsche 911 Dakar. However, this one has been harder for me to find, so I think I'm going to give it a slight edge. The execution, I'm going to give it a 9.5 out of 10. I think that it came out very nice, don't get me wrong, but there's a few little things I think they could have changed or added that would have really put this one over the top. Community input gave this one to the council, and here are their results. The only thing that people were really docking for was the deco and the lack of tampos in the rear. No one really had any major beef with this one, and that averages out to be exactly a 9 out of 10 for the community input. When we take the three categories, add them up, and average them out, we end up with our final score of 9.38 out of 10, which is a very good score for a very good release and overall a good casting. I think Hot Wheels did a good job with this one. The orange deco and the 63 and all that is the absolute perfect combo that they could have done for the initial release. And I am absolutely thrilled with it, and I think that it really came out looking really nice. But I do wish that we could have gotten a few more tampos here and there to really send that look over the top. I also think that the execution of some of the tampos could have been a little bit better, especially the headlight ones up front. It's not bad, but it could have been done ever so slightly better. Wrap it around a little bit, maybe. Now, I mentioned that I liked the Porsche Dakar so well that I decided to skip the premium releases of it and keep that one. I have decided that I will be doing that with this one as well, despite the fact that I absolutely love Lamborghinis and love this particular Lamborghini. This one does a good enough job for me that I will be passing on like a Sparky or the Mini GT, despite those being phenomenal as well. However, I will keep my eyes open for the Matchbox release to see how well I like that one, and maybe we'll do a little compare and contrast or a diecast duel when that one releases. And with that, guys, that is all I have for this review. I hope you have enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you leave a like, subscribe if you are new, and make sure to put a comment down below telling me what your thoughts are on this particular release, and I will see you in the next video.